Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
Melanie sent me a great story out of Canada, but it could happen here. It could happen anywhere because Amazon is everywhere. So a British Columbia woman's $30 online order with a third-party seller on Amazon turned into a $436 vehicle bill. So she spent $30, bought something on Amazon. It caused her to have problems with her car that cost $436 to fix. But of course, the good news is Canadian dollars. And Drew wrote a story for Global News, globalnews.ca published it. And a BC woman says it's buyer beware when purchasing from third-party sellers on Amazon after a $30 purchase ended up costing her hundreds of dollars. And a lot of people are aware of this, but I got to clarify for the few who don't know this. If you go into Amazon and buy something, looking at something at Amazon, you like it, you click to buy and you buy it. A lot of times, the stuff you're buying comes directly from Amazon. They have huge Amazon warehouses that have millions of things in them, and the stuff comes from there. But Amazon also allows third-party vendors, that is people other than them, to advertise stuff on their site, and it's seamless, where it's in the same system, and you click on it, you buy it, but it doesn't come from Amazon directly. It gets shipped by somebody else. And the other person handles everything except that Amazon handles the financial end of the transaction. So on one respect, it's actually pretty good because it's seamless and it makes more stuff available on Amazon. The downside is that the people you're dealing with aren't Amazon, and so that can be a problem. Jennifer Manella told Global News on Wednesday, I trusted Amazon, they'd back their products, but now I'm cautious with what I buy online. And I'll admit, I've had a few issues, and it's almost always with third-party vendors. So that when I buy something on Amazon, if it's available from Amazon or a third-party vendor, I will almost always buy it from Amazon. Almost always. The Vancouver woman's online nightmare began when she went searching for a key fob shell case for her 2009 Mazda 5. And again, we all know these days, in the old days, you had a key, you stuck it in the dashboard or in the steering column, and you turned it, started your car, and you turned it off and pulled the key out. And nowadays, you got key fobs. And, some key fobs, you don't have to put anything anywhere other than just have the key near the car, and the car will start. And so, of course, they're more expensive. Funny how that works. So the Vancouver woman found one on Amazon, but it's from a third-party seller. The product description stated, no programming required. No programming required. It said simply swap your existing electronics inside this key shell and install your original key to the key case. Simple as that. So after buying 2 key fob shell cases, she swapped the fobs as instructed. I hit the beeper and the lights went on. And I thought, well, it works. Then I had to go somewhere the next day, and when I turned the car over, it would not start. The car wouldn't start. So she was forced to have her car towed to a nearby dealership where a vehicle diagnostic test showed that she needed to have 2 new keys created and then reprogrammed for her car to start up again. And of course, in the old days, the key was simply like the same thing you have in a master lock with its pins and tumblers and stuff. The key's got teeth cut in it that just move things and it starts. Nowadays, there's electronics involved. And those electronics talk back and forth. That's the problem. So the total bill for her inconvenience was $436.09. $436.09. Now, it wasn't Mazda's fault, she said. It was Amazon's fault. They shouldn't be listing something like that on their site if they can't back it. She reached out to both Amazon and the seller. She was eventually refunded for the 2 key fobs, but not for the car repair. So she got her $30 back. But as far as the $436.09, no. They're like, no, that's not our fault. Key fobs don't work, just send them back. We'll refund you. So she says, I was refunded for the product, but not for the Mazda bill. I asked them for what I wanted in writing and verbally, and I couldn't move that forward myself, she added. Now, a guy they interviewed here who's the founder and strategist for Dig360, which is a firm that advises people nationally about retail, is based in Vancouver. He said when it comes to third-party sellers on Amazon, consumers are taking their chances. What attracts us to Amazon is how quick it is to click and get something. Amazon's idea of customer service is really about making that easy and making sure the package gets to you really fast. But in terms of the quality of that item or any other follow-up, it's really buyer beware. If you are in Canada and you are buying from a Canadian company, you know that there are consumer protection laws here. You are not covered when you are buying from anywhere in the world coming through Amazon, so shoppers should know that. We'll talk about America in a second. Consumer Matters reached out to Amazon on Manella's behalf. Within days, she received a $500 gift card from the commerce giant as a goodwill gesture. So the people at Global News contacted Amazon, and they did get her a $500 gift card. And in an email, Amazon said, "We work hard every day to delight customers and are resolving this directly with the customer. If customers have concerns or feedback, we encourage them to contact our customer service and we investigate thoroughly." Since Amazon was notified about the experience, the key fob shell case she purchased is now listed as currently unavailable, and the product description of no programming has been removed. No programming required. So she bought the key fob shell case from a third-party vendor on Amazon. It didn't work, but it caused damage to her car. They said, "Send it back, we'll give you back your $30. And as far as the car repair goes, the vendor said, "Yeah, it's on you." So there are a variety of problems that pop up with the third-party vendors on Amazon. And I can tell you, for instance, I ordered a small piece of electronics. It was actually a floppy disk reader. I had some little floppy disks. I wanted to recover stuff off of them. And I got the reader in the mail, from Amazon. And it came from a third-party vendor. And they claimed it was plug and play. So I plugged and it didn't play. And there were no instructions anywhere. So I sent a note to the vendor and I said, "Hey, I got this player here. It doesn't work." And they go, "Well, follow the instructions." I go, "There are no instructions." They go, "Okay, send it back." I said, "Can't you send me the instructions?" And it was one of those things where every time you send an email, it's 3 days for a response. So finally, I sent it back. I got my money back. And then I ordered one from somebody else that worked and came with instructions. And so I got the note from Amazon going, "Would you like to rate this purchase?" I said, "Yeah." By the way, I've noticed that whenever I have a nightmare dealing with, a cable company or something like that, or the power company, and I push a bunch of buttons to speak to this person and, say what you want here and blah, 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 blah. Sometimes they'll come on and go, "Would you like to complete a customer survey at the end of this phone call?" I always say yes, and they never call me back. But anyways, they know what I'm going to say. And so I responded to the description. I gave them 1 star, and I said, it was delivered without instructions, and it didn't work. And I got a thing back from Amazon going, "We can't post this review. It doesn't comply with their guidelines." I said, "Why not? It doesn't have any bad language in it. It's truthful. Thing was shipped with no instructions and it didn't work." And they go, "The statement that it was shipped without instructions refers to shipping and not the product itself. Therefore, we're not going to post your complaint." When you buy something that comes with instructions, you're buying the instructions. The idea that you don't have an entitlement to that is crazy. If I bought a car and it had no warranty booklet in the glove box, I can go back to the dealer and go, "Where's my warranty booklet?" They go, "Oh, no, you don't get one. It wasn't there. Sorry, you don't get one." No, it comes with the car. The instructions come with the product. And they actually told me, "Read the instructions." I go, "I didn't get any." And then they said, "I'll send it back." Now, I don't know why they wouldn't just send me instructions. I don't know. It was strange. It wasn't that expensive of a device. Maybe they had no more instructions. I don't know. Maybe they didn't speak English and didn't understand what I meant by instructions. I don't know. But the point is that the only time I've had problems with Amazon, and I've mentioned before, I order a lot of stuff off Amazon. A lot. The camera, Amazon. The microphone, Amazon. The lights, Amazon. Seriously. I shop around, and it turns out that best prices, and I'll admit some of those came from third-party vendors, but most of them are big names. But the point is that I bought a ton of stuff off Amazon, and the 1 or 2 problems I had were third-party vendors. And so I've heard other stories, a lot of crazy stories about Amazon, everything from the person who's selling a patented product on Amazon, all of a sudden their sales fall off. And they find out that somebody in another country is knocking off their product, taking the product photos off of the original person's page and putting them on the third-party vendor page going, "We're selling this too now." And then this person's got to contact Amazon and go, "Hey, they're stealing my photos and selling stuff they're not allowed to sell." And then Amazon will delete the page, and very, very quickly it'll go back up again in someone else's name. So apparently just putting up those sites isn't that difficult to do once you've figured it out. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there. But like I said, I like Amazon. I use them quite a bit. But there can be problems because they have a great process in place for how they handle their own stuff. But when it comes to how other people handle stuff under their watch, Not so much. There was a great story, also out of Canada, believe it or not, a little while back, where somebody tipped off a Canadian news organization and said, "Did you understand that a lot of stuff that gets returned to Amazon doesn't get restocked and it simply gets shipped out to landfills?" They said, "What?" I said, "Yeah." It turns out that they've done the math on it, and they figured out that to take an item and restock it means they've got to repackage it, make it look brand new, and find out where it was and put it back there. And sometimes it's just cheaper just to throw the stuff away. So they actually put tracking units on a bunch of products they bought and shipped them back to Amazon. And they tracked one of the things, instead of going to Amazon, went to a landfill. And it turns out not everything got shipped to landfills, but a lot of it did. And we've also heard the stories that a lot of stuff that gets shipped back, they put it on pallets and auction it off. So it's who knows what you're going to get, but you can buy a pile of stuff that's been returned to Amazon. Now, I can tell you that part of that comes from the fact that Amazon's return policies are so good. So on the one hand, if you want to lessen what goes into landfills, I guess it's bad. But if you want to be able to send stuff back as a consumer, it's good. I ordered a tripod, and there's also a tripod right there that I'm using that I got off Amazon. And I ordered a tripod, though, before that one, and I got it, and I tried setting it up, and I realized it was broken. And the tripod has metal bars on it, and then high-impact plastic type fittings between those. And there's a big old crack in one of them. I mean, there's no question. It was broken. It came that way. And I remember I went onto Amazon and said, I have to return this item. And it goes, click here. And you click there, and boom, up pops the return label for UPS. And you hit print. You print it. You put the thing back in the box. You tape that to the outside of the box. I drove it to a UPS store, put it on the counter. They scanned it. And I heard a ding on my phone. And I looked at my phone and it goes, Amazon has just refunded to your account. Boom, 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 boom. It's the cost of the tripod. And they refunded the money to me before I'd gotten home from the UPS store where I dropped it off. And so that kind of customer service is impressive. So, they're a little bit all over the board on this one. But the interesting thing about this is that the woman did get taken care of. But it took extraordinary effort on the part of a news organization to get involved. But it worked out for her. And in the long run, yes. But downside is there's probably other people out there who bought those clamshell key fobs and had problems and didn't have the wherewithal or luck to encounter somebody who could help them and navigate this and get their money back, not just for the thing they bought that didn't work, but for the harm it did to their car. So great story out of the globalnews.ca. Melanie sent it to me. Ann Drua wrote it. BC woman's $30 online order with a third-party seller on Amazon turns into a $436 vehicle bill. Questions or comments? Put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. Nature has been for me, for as long as I remember, a source of solace, inspiration, adventure, and delight, a home, a teacher, a companion.